always appreciated the sunny days, knowing that I had to be grounded before the money came, knowing that I won't always have to deal with the hunger pains. And if
Hey y'all, I'm Gigi.
It's your boy Lavelle.
And this is the Cozy Corner.
Back at it again with another video. What we talking about today?
Today we're talking about how to have and how to maintain a healthy relationship. Now we've been together going on 5 years, so I feel like we have some really good advice that we can tell you guys.
Not bragging or nothing. We're just speaking from our experience.
All of our friends are always like, how do you guys maintain like a healthy relationship? We even get comments about it on our TikTok, and we thought we might as well just make like a video about it.
This is the video. You'll text our phone, you'll comment on the TikTok, you'll message us. We're just gonna send you a video link. We'll watch the video. Yeah, we'll do
Even
that.
though I could talk about like healthy relationships all day, like I can talk about health and like wellness all day, every day.
Yeah, that's literally your cup of tea.
It's my thing. It's my vibe. But yeah, let's start. Okay, so the first step of having and maintaining a healthy relationship is having a healthy relationship within yourself. If you don't have a healthy relationship within yourself, there's no point in even bringing that into a relationship.
Nobody's gonna walk into a relationship like perfect and healed, or anything of that sort. But it is important, as you said, to like really touch base with yourself and understand the value that you have for yourself, how much you value yourself, how much you love yourself, how much you pay attention to yourself, and the things that you struggle with. Because in a relationship, you're naked in a relationship. Your emotions are naked. Your flaws are visible, and it's very hard to hide that. Not saying that you should hide it, because that's a whole nother can of worms as well. Like, it only makes things worse. So
eventually it's going to come out, even if you do try to hide it.
Exactly.
And who wants a relationship like that? You should want to be naked, like you said, like be naked with your partner.
Stunts your growth process, and you start to self-sabotage a lot rather than being able to see certain things, adjust, and be able to grow with the person that you may genuinely care about. And, you know, oftentimes I feel confident saying this for men and women. You look at certain situations that you've been in, or relationships that you had, and sometimes it may take time, and you may realize like, damn, like in certain situations I was the problem. You get what I'm saying? Or in certain relationships, like, damn, I didn't treat this person the way that they should have been treated, or that person didn't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. It's not always about necessarily like being in the right or being in the wrong. So just put your best foot forward for yourself,
or
with
even
yourself.
Yeah, like you said earlier, like no one is gonna walk into a relationship like perfect. That's just unrealistic. But as long as you're like aware and like working on yourself, that's literally all that matters. Like you're self-aware and you're working on yourself.
Yeah. Because the right person, if you with the right person, they're gonna understand that and grow with you.
Exactly.
Like, a lot of people may see certain things, kind of relating back to our previous episode about like what you see on social media, but go check that out if you haven't. But a lot of people see certain things and they just automatically assume like, oh, they just like, that's just what happened. Like this person met that person and it was just perfect. And we've been together for going on 5 years now, and there's a lot of things that we learned about each other that we learned to correct and held each other accountable for, while being reasonable with ourselves and holding ourselves accountable in a lot of situations. And that just goes to show like not only how much you value yourself, but how much you value your partner. And that's a necessity in a relationship, a consistent necessity in a relationship, because just like how everybody wants trust and loyalty and all those nice qualities, you still need to be able to maintain those things with yourself and for your partner first and foremost, because that's the foundation of a relationship.
Beautifully said.
Don't be
I love that.
Don't be amping me. Not on camera, not in front of our people.
Quote of the day: you won't find what you're looking for until you see it in yourself. I seen that somewhere. And
she stole that from me. Yeah.
Shut up.
She stole that from me. But it's cool though. We're gonna let her rock.
Okay.
So another controversial topic.
Unpopular opinion.
Very unpopular opinion. And I'm all for, privacy, especially when trust is established, especially when you know like who your partner is and the character that they uphold. For me, I never really cared. I'm just that transparent. I'm a very blunt person.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, we just share passwords to each other's phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how y'all feel about that. Some of y'all may agree.
Yeah.
Some of y'all may not agree. And I understand everybody come from, my favorite saying, different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I have no problem, and I feel at ease knowing that I could leave my phone anywhere. I leave my phone everywhere around the house with you. So
I could literally I could leave my phone unlocked. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, and I understand I don't understand, because if you're in an unstable relationship, maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship. But for us, I've learned to appreciate knowing that we could just move around comfortably. We're not worried about no notifications. There ain't no lock on no apps. There ain't no hidden nothing. There's no passwords on certain apps. There ain't no apps that we don't know about from each other. And it's not of any type of insecurity. It's not any type of control or nothing like that. Because it's not like either one of us like just be picking up each other's phones to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
But in situations, there'd be plenty of times because she leave her phone everywhere around the crib and lose her phone. She got to pick up my phone to call her phone.
Yeah.
And
vice versa, though. Not as much as me, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
But
as long as you, yeah. For me, it's the comfort. We both should be able to be comfortable enough to be able to leave our phones anywhere, and two, nobody wants to be with somebody and then they picking up their phone and you see them start acting strange or acting different or want to grab their phone or like
there's no reason why, like, let's say for an example, if my man is working and I lost my phone, like I should be able to come over to his phone and like type in the password to find my phone. Like I shouldn't have to
do anything. What if your phone dead? Exactly. Or what if you need to make a phone call?
I shouldn't have to be like, oh babe, like can you type in your password? No. Like I'm your woman.
Yeah. So if you're in a committed relationship and you know that you're with your actual partner and y'all like are with each other for the right reasons, just let it be. Like I promise you,
I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, we're probably going to get dragged. They're going to be like, oh, you guys don't have trust in your relationship. But it's like the exact opposite.
It's the exact opposite. At the end of the day, like if it's anybody that I know is going to come find me or make sure that I'm good or whatever, it's going to be her.
Yeah.
So as low and cute and soft-spoken as she is, she low-key gangster, y'all. But
y'all ain't seen that side of me yet. I'm still like low-key camera shy, so.
To piggyback off that first point, not only do we share passwords to each other's phones, but another unpopular opinion.
Very unpopular.
Sharing locations. Very simple. Especially because we just moved across the country.
Mm-hmm.
In a whole nother city, whole nother town, whole lot of new people, whole lot of new faces. Don't know a lot about the area. Well, we know a good amount, but we don't know as much as we should.
And honestly, though, before we get into it, like if you're not sharing your location with your significant other, you should be sharing your location with at least one person.
Yeah, some type of family members, father, mother, sister, brother, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, we out here on our own, doing our own thing. And I can handle myself, and so can you. But at the end of the day, yeah, just for security purposes, just for peace of mind, I need to know where she at. She needs to know where I'm at. And it's not no stalker thing. We live in the same home. We don't have no problem just checking in with each other. Because checking in is another point.
Like we don't just like up and leave like without telling each other.
Yeah,
like,
she know where I'm going. I know where she going. And if I do make extra wherever, I notify so that way she knows like, all right.
They're gonna be like, this sounds like jail.
Them, they gonna look at it like that from that standpoint.
Yeah, I've seen comments on TikTok like that. Like, oh, like, hey, is this jail?
I'm happy though.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm cool. It's just for a peace of mind, y'all.
Yeah.
In the world that we live in, where there is, trafficking, and in a world where we live in, where people are very envious and very weird, with weird energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather make sure that she's safe, and she'd rather make sure that I'm safe. If you with that person, you genuinely care about that person, and you may love that person. I can't speak for y'all, but I love my girl. So at the end of the day, whatever the case may be, and we done had some crazy stories where I had to get on that when you was getting followed by cars and all this different type of stuff. So
we can tell like little mini like story
yeah,
time.
we might have a story time for y'all coming up soon, just to dive deeper into that. But I had to really get on that, and I ain't even that type of person no more. But I had to get on that. So sharing your location for me, that's a go. So however y'all want to feel about that, that's on y'all.
So the next one we want to get into is respecting each other's boundaries. For us, like we've been saying this whole time, we don't know how y'all are with y'all relationships, but we don't really condone like the opposite sex friendships. However, if we meet like a couple friend, of course,
or we just meet people in a mutual space.
Yeah, of course, like that's fine because like at that point you're like both of our friend. But no, I'm not. I'm not cool.
No girl. I'm not doing no girl best friend.
Yeah, we're not going for that.
Doing
no guy best friend.
Now it's a different. If it's a completely different situation. Even in this situation, it's you're walking a thin line. But like if we met and you grew up with somebody,
we kind of had that situation.
Yes, we met and she grew up with a very close friend, and it was of the opposite sex. But we're very transparent, and I knew about the dude, and he knew about me, and he understood boundaries as well. Yeah. Like he wasn't just like
he wasn't texting
calling or texting you at any type of night. Yeah.
No.
And if there was any type of like plans or anything like that, like we knew about it.
And also he was actually just a friend. Like we've never been on that type of vibe. Like we never talked about it. It's never been like that.
Literally just a friendship.
Literally just a friend.
Me on the other hand, I'm unfriendly and I don't really. No, I like people, but I don't like.
We love them unfriendly.
Yeah, I don't maintain like female friendships. It's usually just on like the business side, or if I have to communicate with a colleague about work or a project or whatever the case may be, and she's fully aware of any of that stuff. And
same here.
It's never a surprise to her. And if I am on the phone, 9 times out of 10, we can recap the conversation and all that stuff. And it's not uncomfortable for me. Y'all could call. Well, I know the dude's probably gonna see this and be like, oh, like on some simp stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I got to say about that is, can I say? I don't know if I can say.
We can bleep it out.
Y'all could have all them hoes.
Yeah, we definitely gotta bleep that out.
Y'all could keep that. I'm good with my one. Quality over quantity every time.
I love that. Real men.
So boom, we went over loving and understanding yourself in relationships before you get in one. We went over boundaries. We went over privacy, which is sharing your phone password, location, all that. The last and definitely not the least highlight of the day for sure is understanding your triggers and knowing how to control your emotions and understanding your partner's triggers and knowing how to treat your partner, especially in situations where emotions are high. So I'm gonna just toss that over to you, Chris.
I'll just start it off first because as women, you know, we are very emotional beings. Like that's just how we are. And
capital E. Y'all crazy.
Okay, don't do too much. But yeah, like we're crazy. Emotional.
My bad. See? That's that gangster about to come out. She almost let it out, y'all. I did that on purpose.
Okay, so yeah, we are emotional beings. I think as we mature, we need to learn how to control those emotions and not act on our emotions and act and respond to things logically. Yeah. This is something that I am working on, and yeah, I've been like journaling and meditating and really working on being more like self-aware during arguments. that we have sometimes.
And even if it's not arguments, just like when we just don't agree on the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's healthy.
Yeah. So not obviously not only arguments, but like even like everyday, like just things that regular people go through.
Yeah.
I'm learning to like respond like logically.
I think the biggest thing for women and something that you could agree with is like not being reactive. I think that's the biggest thing.
Acting
Like
off of emotion.
Yeah, but you could just be reactive and not be emotional too. Not you literally. I'm saying like in general. Like you can hear something that you may not necessarily align with, and you may not feel personally attacked by it, but you may feel indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
So you're reacting without even fully like registering like or processing what's going on. And you could just have an outburst that doesn't even align with the message. So now it's like it's a whole completely different thing.
I think what helps with that is just listening intentionally.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest thing that everybody has to understand is funny, we touched on it today. I told you like something that I found very valuable for my mental health and how I connected or communicate with others is that I learned to appreciate not talking. And that allowed me to not only digest more with the subject at hand or the problem that somebody's facing or the message that I need to receive, and understand that there's still going to be space for my message to be put across the table for them to receive. And sometimes that could be challenging in moments that both of y'all or both couples or even for us when we're stressed or emotions are high and stuff like that. But you have plenty of options to resort to when you're facing those challenges, whether it's all right, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, or let's have this conversation in 10 minutes, and whatever the case may be, or like you just letting your partner know, like, hey, I don't have the exact words of how I want to voice what I want to say right now. So give me a minute and let me find my thoughts so that way I can make sure that my message is received properly.
Yeah.
Because even for me, like, I'm very well spoken. You would say that I'm very well spoken as well. But sometimes when I get frustrated, and you learn that as we continue to grow through our relationship, if I stop talking, it's not because I'm shutting you out or shutting down. It's more so of I'm not about to just say anything just to say anything. But while I was doing that, sometimes I lacked in spaces like that to communicate like I need a minute as well. But I learned to add that into those conversations rather than just like getting frustrated, taking a breather and not communicating that, all right, I need to like take a breather real quick. You get what I'm saying? And for fellas, I know like for y'all, like one thing for us, like we hate to repeat ourselves and we hate to consistently say the same thing and it's not being registered. So it's like now you shut down and you don't want to talk at all. But that's an unhealthy habit to create for yourself and for your partner as well. So
communication is key.
I highly recommend just finding ways to, break down that wall and allow yourself to learn these new habits. And you'll come to appreciate it for the long run, especially for the person that you're committed to and in a healthy relationship with, or in a relationship with in general that you're aiming to create a healthy relationship with.
So I think another one is that we spoke about previously is like knowing your triggers and understanding your triggers and communicating those triggers with your partner. And if you love your partner and your partner tells you about their triggers, maybe it's something that you do personally. If you love them, then
acknowledge them and respect them,
and you'll change that. And you guys can have a conversation about that. Obviously, it's not going to be like within a day or even a week or a month, but you'll work on that and you'll show your partner that you, like you said, acknowledge them. You acknowledge the triggers and you want to create like a safe place for them.
Yeah. The the answer is not for y'all. Like, I'm just being real. For males, like, the answer is not to just look at your girl and be like, oh, why you always emotional, or why you always got to do this, or you always so emotional, like you always take yourself so That's not the answer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that just to say it. That's just me being real. Like, for us, and I hate to make it like a black and white thing, we're, and not all men, not all males, I'm specifically speaking for men, we're wired to find out solutions or logic or make sense of situations. And sometimes women just need to be heard and understood, and understand that this is a safe space for them to pour their feelings or speak about their feelings, because they don't have a space to just do that all the time.
Us women, we know the answers to, you know, the things that we need, or like what we need to hear. We know what we want to hear. We just want to be heard. Babe, most of the time, us women know the answers and we know what we want to hear. We just want to be heard. Okay. That's facts.
I could agree.
Same with men. Like, men want to be heard too. Y'all know the solutions to what y'all need to do and like how y'all need to figure things out.
I guess
you guys just want that person to be there.
Yeah.
And you want to
I
be
guess
heard.
For me, it's like the way that sometimes the actions align with the way that y'all do things.
Elaborate.
Like, for you, right? When you're in an emotional space, sometimes your actions are more loud than exactly how you feel, if that makes sense. It's more stressed. Your actions are more louder than how you actually feel. So it makes how you feel exaggerated, if that makes sense.
I need an example.
Like, all right, you'll get upset that something simple didn't go your way. And your emotions and your expressions is like the world is ending. But it's just something as simple as you ain't get to buy the new Stanley Cup.
Not that simple.
I'm just making an example. But but y'all do that though.
No, I feel you.
Y'all do that though.
One thing that like men need to understand is that, well, some men need to understand is that it's not about like the Stanley Cup. It ties into like a bunch of other things. Like, okay, like I didn't get the Stanley Cup and I had this kind of day today.
So it's the tip of the iceberg type of
thing. Like it's adding fuel to the fire.
I feel that. I just don't feel like it should be that.
Plus,
that deep.
Like I said, like women, we are emotional beings. Like, first of all, we literally have our periods every month.
Y'all got like a cool 15 good days.
Exactly. Our hormones and everything is just scattered everywhere. That's not an excuse to act off of emotion, but like,
y'all be a little grumpy sometimes.
Yeah.
Y'all hangry almost every other day too. But it's cool. We're gonna let for the fellas in the chat, fellas watching the video, we're gonna let them slide because we love our women. And at the end of the day, y'all get on our nerves, but we wouldn't trade y'all for the world. What's the saying? I used to always grow up hearing like older dudes be like, women can't live with them, can't live without them.
Aw, that's cute.
Yo, my nerves. But that wraps up another video, y'all. We went through a lot of topics. Well,
4 or 5. Yeah,
not too bad.
We can do a part 2.
A few topics about things that you should do to maintain a healthy relationship. Yes. A lot of good points. A lot of points that y'all may not agree with, but that's why we have a conversation.
Just know that it starts within yourself first.
For sure. So, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment below about how y'all feel about certain topics that align with you, may not align with you, but always stay tuned for the next video. We'll be back here. You know where to find us at the Cozy Corner. Peace.